Hello. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm wondering how the video is too. Oh, look, I think it's coming up on YouTube. Let me check. So, actually, the video doesn't seem kind of good. It seems a little slow. Shoot. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of glitchy. I don't know what to do here about that. Let's see. Maybe I need to cut that off. Okay. It's looking a little better. No, that's not doing it. Oh my goodness. So, let me think. It's still glitchy. Let me try something with my Wi-Fi. So we recently, let me see, what did he tell me to do? So, okay, that's looking like it's a little better. Dang it, it's not. Hmm. All right, I'm checking here. Let's see. Let me see what's going on. All right, bear with me, people. Just having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Oh gosh. Hold on. Oh look, somebody's oh, hey Mark Lee. Yay. That's awesome. Okay, my phone is behind. Let's see. So I'm checking on my phone as I'm doing this. Oh, did you? Okay, is the video okay, Mark? Oh my gosh, my cats are fighting over there. Okay, let's see. I wonder why I can't see the chat on my OBS studio. All right. I wish I could see the chat over here. That's not cool. See docs, stats. Oh, here, chat. I think I found it. I'm a total noob when it comes to this. All right. Okay, good. All right, Mark, you're great. I guess I'll just set my phone up here this way and I can see. All right. Okay, so I guess we can get started. Mike, you're the hero of the day. Mark, you're the hero of the day. So I have been MIA, of course, I'm sure y'all have noticed. And the reason why is because I started working an office job. It's a 9 to 5 job. Actually, it's not really a 9 to 5, it's like an 8 to 5. And it's been really kicking my butt. So I haven't held an office job since like 2018, 17-ish, I want to say. And so it's just been a real adjustment for me and my family, and having time just to rest is a luxury right now. I think I've kind of adjusted to work life and all of that. I really like the job. My trade, my skill is accounting, and so I was, or I still am. I keep books for a doctor's office. He has 5 practices, and then I keep the books for a small speech therapist contractor, which he contracts speech therapists out to school districts. And so his books are really simple. As a matter of fact, I only invoice him like once or twice a year because it's just so simple. So, so I found a job, a bookkeeping job. I'm doing a lot of AP at the moment, but I'm the only person in the accounting department, and they have like a CPA firm doing a lot of their stuff. So I saw a lot of growth potential with this job, and additionally, my husband, who was the main breadwinner of the family, he needed some help. As you guys have probably noticed, everything is just so expensive. With our family, we've got a family of six, three dogs, three cats, so our grocery bill is like $400 a week, and that's just groceries. I mean, it takes more to survive than just food, right? Um, and when I say survive, I mean like in like the United States. I mean, we could definitely survive with a $400 worth of groceries if we just lived out in nowhere. We camped all the time and lived under the stars, didn't have internet or phone, have to worry about hair and shoes and stuff like that. I mean, but anyhow, so yes, I'm working, and that's where I've been, and I've been thinking about y'all a lot, and I'm just like, my poor people, they just don't know where I've gone, and what are they doing without the readings and stuff. And I wanted to create this community. I have this grand idea of this community coming together, helping one another, and just kind of working things out, holding space for one another as we navigate ourselves through life. And so when I started working, it was just like all of that just kind of went to the back burner. And I thought about y'all. I thought about reading, and I tried to do it a few times actually, and it just didn't work out. And actually tonight, it actually took me an hour and a half to get set up. I have a new cam, and then I have like some different things I had to connect. And then since I hadn't been streaming for a while, OBS wanted me to update this, and so it took me an hour and a half just to get all set up. So I was thinking I was just going to get on here, turn it on really quick, and just push out a video. And I was thwarted, of course. So anyhow, that's where I have been. I've kind of checked in on to seeing how people are doing. I'll get some comments every now and then, some of people watching the videos, and surprisingly, my subscriber count has only dropped by one person. And actually it was kind of a net, because I gained one person during this MIA time, and then I guess that same one person dropped, or I don't know who dropped, but they don't tell us that information. But anyway, you guys have been kind of hanging out and waiting, and I think that's cool. So thank you for that. So today, not only do I want to tell you where I've been, I also want to help y'all, maybe since I'm not going to be making as many videos as I would like or as I intended, for you to start your own tarot practice. And so I have some decks that I wanted to show you. This is my whole collection of tarot all right here. It doesn't look as good on camera as it does in person. I don't know why. But let me grab some. Let me put some here. This is one of my faves. And then we've got cloth first deck. Okay. Let me get out Star Tarot. Yes. Okay. Okay, so I think that'll be enough for now. Um Wow, I'm looking at my hair. I just got a haircut today and it was actually down to like my jeans area and that's not very professional. I'm in a a corporate office and having that long a hair and it was just so flat and just didn't do anything. So kind of got like this Farrah Fawcett looking wing. It looked really good when she did it. My hair does not hold curl, doesn't hold hairspray. It's just really straight and just fine, and it is shiny though. I'll give it that. I do like that. Um, but anyway, so let me switch the view for y'all so y'all can see these um, decks here. Okay, hopefully the lighting's okay. Oh, you can see my phone. Let's put my phone over here. Well, how am I going to see the chat? Maybe put it right there. All right, we're just going to have to work with what we got, okay? All right, so the first thing, there are basically, there's more than these two, but these are the main two decks. We have Thoth by Aleister Crowley, and then, oh, I didn't pull the RWS, Rider Waite Smith, and this is this is the tarot deck that kind of got people excited about tarot. Okay, this is the Pamela Coleman Smith artwork with Arthur Edward Waite, his interpretation of the cards. And so this is the typical one, the Star, Page of Pentacles. There we have the Hierophant, Judgment. So this is what everybody has been using. It's the most popular deck, and there's just so many clones of this deck where it's the same artwork, different backs. I can show you something like that. Where is my star? Let's see. Okay, we don't need to go that detailed. Okay, and so so with this RWS deck, we also have other decks that are similar in not art style, but the meaning of the cards, right? So here is one of my faves, Tarot of the Abyss by Anna Torian. Now, this is a beautiful deck, black and white. This is Justice. This is the Magician. We've got the Hermit in reverse here. And so, I mean, just her artwork is just beautiful. Here's the 10 of Wands. And what's great about this deck is that she has some alternates for the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Swords. I want to say there might be one more, but I can't think of what it is. So I think there's just 2 alternates. Oh, see, here's an alternate of the 3 of Swords. Usually the 3 of Swords is that one with the heart, the sword stabbing the heart. And so she has an alternate. So check out this Hierophant. She renamed it the Wise One, which is super cool. I love this card. And I think the Wise One is actually the fire. So, oh, Mark Lee. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Mars, North Node, 7th Cup, Sagittarius Ascendant, Cancer Moon, Jupiter, and 8th. Oh, wow. That's cool that you know all that. And so that's another thing that I've really gotten into recently is astrology. And so, Mark, if you have any ideas on how I can structure my readings going forward, I would really like to hear what you have to say. Reading the signs never quite resonated with me. I read for the signs because that's how people found videos. They're like, okay, tarot reading for Scorpio, tarot reading for Libra, and so that's just a good way to search for such readings. But, we're all on different paths in our lives, and one Libra is not going to be going through the same thing the next Libra is. And so sometimes I just felt like it wasn't quite general enough. It was too specific. And so, and I still feel that way, but now that I have less time on my hands, I can't necessarily run through 13 signs. It would take me literally a month or longer, 2 months, 3 months just to get through all of the signs. Because I don't really want to put myself on a schedule, so to say, because not only do I work, but I also have 4 kids. three of which are not independent. And, you know, they've still got to be taken to practice and they need stuff. They need help with homework, whatnot. I've got to make dinner. So there's just no way for me to commit to doing 13 sign readings on a regular basis. I thought about maybe sticking with the elements because I work with the elements. I've got all of my elements here and, you know, I have an altar for them and all of that. So if you guys have an idea on how I can do my readings, I would appreciate that. I'm sorry, I just hit my table. I did get a mic stand, but it had already been like 45 minutes into the setup and I was like, okay, I'm not going to bring that out because I hit my table and I think my mic reverberates that. Okay, so these are the Rider-Waite-Smith decks and there are so many different kinds of decks. Speaking of the Rider-Waite-Smith, I don't want to show this one. So, oh, I got this one. So this is Tarot of the Guiding Light, and this is by, oh, I know her name. Is it back here? Victoria Iva. I found her on Instagram, and I have one of her other decks. This is her. She's pretty cool. She's kind of goth punk. Amazing person. But her decks are very just like minimalist, right? They're almost Marseille style, which we'll go over in a minute. And so there's not a lot of picture work that's going to sway you one type of way. I mean, because look, we've got this Five of Swords here, right? And this, usually a Five of Swords is sort of a conflict card. Let's see if we can find one. But if you have something like this, if you have a picture, let's find a better one. Let's see. If you have a picture, oh, well, this is good. If you have a picture, it's going to sway you and it's going to bring you to think one way about a card and it's going to give you a certain feeling. Whereas you don't, if you have less of a picture like this one, this Five of Swords, it's going to bring you more of an intuitive thought process. Whereas this one, this guy is obviously leaving something that he had previously built, or, you know, he's probably in search of that missing cup right here. He's walking away, right? And here, I feel like this card shows a lot of strength. This card shows organization. This card shows will, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that Five of Swords conflict that you have going on. So when choosing a deck, you kind of have to get a feel for what these images, how they would make you feel, how what you can intuit from these types of cards. Some people prefer to have more of a direction, more of an illustration to help them work with the cards, right? Okay, so that is some RWS. I do have another one that is RWS inspired, but it's more of a pip deck, more of a Marseille deck where there isn't a lot of illustration. Okay, and this was my very first Kickstarter deck. I love this deck. It's called the Lux Umbra Tarot by Mystic, and it's in French. So we have, it's velvety, super velvety. And so this is the Valet de Béton, right? It's the Page of Wands. And so what this deck does is that it gives a coloration, and red and purple is for fire. And then it also gives the symbol of fire up here. And then it gives us a astrological reference to the card. So see, we've got the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and this is the Knight of Swords. And so there's not a lot of action going on here, right? This is Justice, Major Arcana. And so this gives you a lot more to work intuitively. Now this one has, and the reason why I say, oh, look at this beautiful sun. And the moon is beautiful too. I'll show you guys that one. The reason why I say this is RWS inspired is because some of these cards, here's Death. Death is my favorite card. Some of these cards go towards an RWS meaning, like the, let's see, what is it? Like the Three of Swords. And I'm not going to be able to find it. Unless I flip through all 78 cards, which I don't necessarily want to do. But this Three of Swords has the typical three. Oh, here's the moon. La lune. I love this card. And I love the moon too. The moon was beautiful. Here it is. So here's our Three of Swords. And it's not the Three of Swords going through the cartoon heart. It's the actual anatomically correct heart. So, so that's why I say it is RWS inspired. And here we have the Hermit, of course, you know, retreating to that solitude that the Hermit energy is about. So that is RWS. And there are so many different RWS decks for you to choose from. There are a lot. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys some more Pip style decks. And then we'll talk about Shaw. Clearing off my space here. I have come to realize in my life that I never have enough room anywhere I go. I mean, I have a huge desk at work and it's always covered. I always got piles everywhere. Okay, so Tarot de Marseille, right? And so this is a very cute deck. And so we've got these. The here is the Pope. But our minor arcana is just a picture of it is just the cups, it is just the coins. Here's the World, here's a king. No, this is the Emperor. This is a coin. You know, it's just very, very structured. Some people like to work with this type of deck. Others don't. You can use numerology with this. You can use the way this is the swords, the way the swords are structured. And you can use these little finials, I guess you could say. And you can, however you choose. This is very pattern oriented, I would say. If you're drawn to patterns, if you're drawn to the way colors work with one another, the way they contrast against one another, I would say this is a good style deck for you to work with. And like I said, there's not a lot of scenery imagery going on, so you can intuit things based on numerology. You can use based on order, color, the way the cards look at each other. Like, for instance, you have, let's say you have these three cards. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 7. You've got the 7 of coins. You've got the Knight of Coins, and then you've got the Knight of Cups. So we've got both knights are looking towards this way, right? And one is in reverse. So you could possibly say that there is some action going your way. However, it's going to be slowed down by perhaps feelings or something like that. The feelings are really keeping you towards making a prompt decision. And whatever 7 means to you, you can say that it has to do with the number 7 and how it works with the coins. So there's a lot to be read from a simple deck like this. And so that is a deck that originated, I want to, in Marseille, right? France. um, and I really like the colors of that deck. I like that one a lot. Another one that I like is a little more modern. We've got the soul cards here. Let's see. Mark says, where is everyone? I don't know. It's a Saturday night, Mark. And, I didn't know if this is probably not the best time for a live, and I don't know. And I decided a while back ago that I was going to do teaching courses in lives. That way, if someone had a question, I could interact with them, and also so that it's separate on my my YouTube page, because you've got videos and you've got lives, and then I think community or something like that. So I like that it was separate. So that was my idea. So these are soul cards. These have a nice velvety touch too. I got these at Half Price Bookstore for like $8, which I thought was a steal. And I love these cards because they're simple, very simple. Oh, why is the picture doing that? I think my what's that word? The sharpness might be just a little too much on here. But they're just very simple. And it's not, these lines are straight. I don't know. Is it showing up weird? Oh, it's not even showing up weird on YouTube. I'm looking at my phone. So the screen that I'm looking at, I see lots of like diagonal lines going through this gold. So like I said, this is very simple. It's more of a modern take on, so this is the Chariot. It's more of a modern, simplistic take on Tarot de Marseille. Oh, look at this. This is the devil. I mean, wow. So I like this deck as well. And this particular deck has different colors, and they're like different style backs. I think the imagery on the front of the card is the same, but see on the back here we have some nice greenery leaves. And then the sides here I think are beautiful. It's like a matte gold, which I just love. And there's a sparkle to it too. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera, but these are beautiful cards too. So these are called Soul Cards Allure. And great places to pick up cheap decks is the Half Price Bookstore. They have them locked up and they'll stand there and wait for you to look through your 20 decks. but it is a great place, and tarot decks these days can cost upwards of $100 for a deck. I know I paid, I'm embarrassed to say how much I paid for it, but it's a beautiful deck and I don't regret it. But it was a very expensive deck. Let me grab some tea. So look, my daughter bought me this. Well, she didn't buy it, but she picked it out, this cup, and it's a teacup, and it has a heater down here at the bottom. You can't see in this view. But down here there's like a heater, and it keeps my drink warm, my tea warm, and it has an app also where I can turn it on and off. Okay, so Mark Lee says, I'm down here in this Sonoran Desert southwest of Phoenix. I think we might be in a solar storm, the way my phone reception is working. Well, Mark, it might also be the way my connection is, because I'm seeing it's really jittery on my end. Okay. So did I call you Mike again, Mark? I don't know why I don't know. I'm sorry if I called you Mike. Okay, so this is a pocket tarot deck. It's called Tarot de Maria Celia. And so this is another Marseille style deck, but it's a different color scheme, right? Very muted colors. And And I like it because it's small. I have small hands, and so I can shuffle it. I can riffle shuffle this. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So another deck from Italy, we have this Nabi deck. I don't think this is the one that I wanted to show, but this was another deck that was a little pricey because it's from Italy, and it's illustrated, but it is the illustrations don't really give too much explanation as to what the cards mean. So this is the Four of Swords, and we've just got four swords with some decoration here. And this is the One of Cups. We've got like a baby and a monkey there. Like, what does that mean, right? I've tried to read with this deck, and I don't really get very clear readings and clear understandings of what's going on. So I don't know. It might just be me, but this is an Meligeno deck. And I actually bought this deck because my mother-in-law is Italian, and I really wanted to show her that deck. This is another Marseille style deck, but this one is very busy, right? It's very busy, and it does have some, it's really hard to see as well, to see what's going on. And even the script down there at the bottom, you see in this white, if it'll focus, the script is hard. So this is the coin of page. See, I don't even know what this is. Yeah, I'm not even sure, but I like this deck, and I wanted to use it, and I wanted to be able to work with it so much, but there's just too much going on, and it's too much. I can't get a I can't get a clear understanding from this one as well. So like I said, finding a deck that works with you, finding a deck that works with your style of understanding, your style of intuition is really key. And even though you might like the way something is, I mean, I love this deck. I love the art in here, but it just doesn't bring whatever it is that my seventh sense needs. 7 or 6, I don't know, but I don't know, maybe it's 6, right? Because there's a movie called The Sixth Sense. Well, we have 5, so 7, no, 6. Okay, I'm just gonna be quiet on that. All right, so then that brings us to the Thoth deck. Actually, let me show you that one. The Tarot Classico. I can't find it. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, so here is the famous Aleister Crowley deck, right? Lots of people read with this, and it is from Aleister Crowley and Arthur Edward Waite were from the same what is that group, club? It's more elegant than club. The Golden Dawn, right? They were from the same fraternity. It's not even that. I can't think of the word. Okay. So they had a lot of the same teachings, but they had different artists make their cards, right? And so some of their cards have the same meanings, but other cards have different meanings, right? And so this artwork is just to me, very beautiful. I've not read very much with Thoth. I started to study it a little bit, and then I was unable to finish my studies on this, but I've worked with it a small bit, and I'm the type of person that likes to have all the information before I start working with something. And so I'm not quite comfortable working with this deck just yet, but and it has nothing to do with the art. I think the art is great. I have gotten some intuitive hits, but I do want to make sure that I am not reading RWS when I read the Thoth deck, because there are different meanings. There's different card names for some of them as well. And so I just wanted to make sure that I have everything as it should be. And so as with RWS, we have different Thoth based Thoth based decks as well. So the Star Tarot is a Thoth based deck. And so just how we had Anatorian, she made a different illustrative type with the RWS. This person here, what's her name? Kathy McClellan, did the same thing with Thoth. So these have the same meaning as Aleister Crowley's deck, right? And so I get wonderful readings from this. And actually, it wasn't until very recently that I started studying Thoth that I found out that this deck is Thoth based. And so I was reading this RWS, but I have got wonderful readings from this. Cardstock is amazing, nice and thick, not too thick, slides together well. The images are beautiful. They're very saturated, and it's a wonderful deck to read from. There's a lot going on, but there's almost like a simplicity that comes with this. And even though there's just lots of colors and lots happening in the card, there is a definite meaning. There's a definite hit to your intuition as to what these cards mean, and they work well with the deck and with other cards as well. So that is the Star Tarot. The other deck, let me grab that. Now, this is that expensive deck I was telling you about, and the reason why this deck was so expensive is because it came from New Zealand, I think it is, and it's by Gabby Angus West, and this is Thoth based as well, but this is Frida Kahlo, right? She was a Mexican surrealist artist, like in the early 1900s. She had some terrible things happen to her. She lived in pain most of her life. She was unable to bear children. She had a very interesting life, and she was an amazing artist. And so this deck pays homage to her art, to her pain, to her life, to her awesomeness. And beautiful deck as well. I love, love, love. Oh, look at this beautiful card. I love reading from this deck. And even though it is Thoth based, I still read from it. And to be honest, I don't always follow the RWS meanings anyway. So I don't see why I would have to follow the Thoth meanings. And I do work a lot with imagery. I work with colors. I work with numbers. I work with the way the cards work with one another. So when I'm reading, it's very intuitive. And so all of this is to show you guys that there are so many options out there to find a deck. You've just got to find something that speaks to you, that talks to you, something that you can understand what it is saying. Okay. And let's see, let's do a quick flip so I can show you guys. So I usually use 2 decks when I read, right? I use 3 main cards, and then I draw, 9 cards down at the bottom. And that for me is an in-depth reading, but you can always just do 3 cards. Okay. So I do this, and for me, that's a clearing of the deck, right? That's an energetic clearing. That's a me getting in tune with the deck. That's getting the previous energies out. The shuffling does as well. And also, I read reversals. So I do this nice little thing here. When I pull the card this way, it reverses these cards, right? And then I do my shuffling. So if you don't want to read reversals, you just need to open it up this way and kind of flip it around so that they're still the same way. I mean, there's no way for you to know because everything's mixed up. I'll show you again. If you don't want to read reversals, cut it and then grab it on the other side and then shuffle. Okay. You do want to read reversals, just let this fall down to the bottom, pick it up, shuffle, and it'll reverse your cards. Okay, and then I give it a little pat rub, just to let it know, hey, I'm here. We're working together on this. And then I pull my 3 cards. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Cups in reverse. We've got Adjustment, which is Aleister Crowley's renaming of what was it? A renaming of, what was that? Okay, so it says here, it's card 11. So I think this is the renaming of Justice, because I don't think he switched. Let me see. See, this is the kind of stuff that trips me up. And this is where I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not going to be able to read this. So let's see. I'm looking in Aleister Crowley's. Nope, this is Lust. So why? So Lust is 11. Let me see what the actual tarot avatar says. Oh my gosh, my dogs are barking. Ava, are you watching? If you're watching, can you go can you go let the dogs in, please? Where is the book to this? Oh, here. Oh my gosh, I had a card. Oh no, this is the opening card. Okay, so we've got the Hermit, 10, 11, Adjustment. Also, oh, it is Justice. Hello. Okay, also known as Justice or Balance. Okay. So I think Aleister Crowley, he might have changed the Justice number because I know Weight changed Justice and changed Strength. So let's see. Where is Strength? That's the Lovers. Adjustment. Okay, so yeah, he has Adjustment as 8. So what Gabby Angus Smith is she moved Adjustment back to she put it where what's his name did. May I please ask you oh, sure. Hi, Alexander Kaufman. Yeah, Alexander, please ask your question. Oh, both of you guys are here. That's awesome. That is so great. I'm so glad to have you here. I love you, and I'm glad you're here. Okay, Alexander, ask your question, and I'm going to get my thoughts together on this. Okay, so RWS has 8 as Strength and 11 as Justice. Okay, and so Aleister Crowley put Justice as 8, which is where it usually is, and Gabby Angus West used the placement of Justice just like RWS did, Rider-Waite Smith. Okay, so that's kind of weird. I wonder, maybe she, yeah, I don't know. And so, oh, I do want to show you guys that the Tarot Marseille, they're the ones. Yes, Alexander, ask your question. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Mark. Chariot. Le Pendu. Here's Justice. See, Justice here is card number 8. And so the reason why RWS switched Justice and Strength is because he wanted to associate Leo with Strength, right? And because Leo comes before Libra, which is associated with Justice. So Leo comes before Libra in astrology, in the zodiac wheel, and so he wanted Strength to be associated with the Leo, the lion, and so that's why he made the switch. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's his exact reasoning. I don't, but that's the deal, right? He said something like, I can't remember, like he just felt that was misplaced, or that was something that it was where it shouldn't have been. But to me, that just translates to, I wanted the zodiac sign Leo to be associated with Strength. Okay, when will my sister and her husband first get it? Is it this? What? Get arrested? Oh, okay. You want the cards to tell you that. Oh, I see. Okay, I thought you had a question about the card. Well, I mean, why would they get arrested? That's kind of concerning here. Sorry, that just kind of threw me for a loop here. Okay, I guess we could possibly do a reading on that and see what it says. I don't necessarily do time readings, Alexander. And I never really, I don't really find that a card can tell us that unless we do like numbers, you know what I mean? Especially the way that these cards are illustrated, it's kind of hard to get a firm like date on something. I know some people do it, like Anna, what is her last name? She does playing cards oracle. I have had some thoughts on this because illegal activities. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry they're doing illegal things. All right. Let me finish this, and then I'll try to do a reading on your question, and we'll see where that takes us. Like I said, I've never done time-based readings though. A lot of my readings are really based on emotions and just dealing with stuff that we don't want to deal with. But I guess this falls in line with that, right? Okay. Okay, so back to this here. So we've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. Then we've got Adjustment in reverse and King of Pentacles as well. So 9, Major Arcana, and King of Pentacles. We've got water. This can be associated with air. And so what I would say here is that with our Nine of Cups being in reverse, this is sort of kind of an unhappy place, like something there just isn't harmony going on. There aren't synergistic activities going. With this King of Pentacles here, this King of Pentacles is not what we normally attribute to a King of Pentacles, right? This card was given to Frida's husband, and he was a womanizer. He cheated on her, and he was very he caused a lot of pain in her life. And so when I look at this card and it's associated with him, I always feel like there is a false sense of security. Some kind of there's some kind of attachment to an ideal that's not really there. And I think that sort of translates well with what the Nine of Cups in reverse has to say, and the Adjustment card in reverse. There's just something that there's an energy about that is not what it seems, that is not what you think it is not what you want it to be, right? So, what my feeling or my intuition on this is really take stock and understand what it is you're going through, what you're feeling, and understand that the way you're looking at it or the way that things seem is not how they really are. So, and so when you, so with this reading and how I came about that is the Nine of Cups is the sort of like the end of the line. You kind of have all that you want. You have happiness, you have a joy, you're getting so close to that 10, which is where that's almost the world is, right? It's like the mini world. It's like that mini achievement card. And with it being in reverse, it's there, but it's kind of out of our grasp. And then we have Adjustment in reverse. And so if you want to read reversals, you can, I read them as either the energy is being blocked or that energy is on, I don't want to say the negative side, but perhaps the opposite side of what the card in the upright position would mean, right? So negative not meaning bad, but the opposite, the other side of what the card means. And then when you have something in upright, right? Read it as it looks, because that energy is coming through strong. It's coming through pure. Okay. It's whole. We could say that reversals are a little bit fragmented. Now, if you don't want to read reversals, all you got to do is just flip them around. And that's going to give you a totally different reading. It's going to give you a totally different meaning. So now we have the happiness here. We have that approaching that happily ever after. And then we do have equality here. We have the King of Pentacles. So again, to me, this card has negative connotations, and it has negative connotations because of what I know of Frida Kahlo and I know of her husband. And so this is going to be a very personal interpretation on my part, because I guess you could say, sort of a bias on how I feel about this. Additionally, Diego does look, that's the husband's name. He does look a little serene. This card is very warm feeling. We do have this stack of, what would that be called? Like, industrialization here. To me, that's like desolation and stuff like that. It's up there in the corner though. So so when you do these card readings on yourself, there should be a little bit of bias for you, because you're doing this reading for yourself, and it's your intuition that is going to come up, that is going to pop up. There are people out there that say you shouldn't read for yourself, but I don't believe that. I think that is the best. You're the best person to do your reading, because you do have inside information. You do understand some things, even though you might not want to see it clearly. And I can tell you, for many years, well, for a couple of years, I had this teacher, and she ended up not being the very best teacher for me. But when I would do readings about her, our relationship, and the situations that I would find myself in, the Hierophant would always come up in reverse. And I never paid attention to that. I always just thought that, that's, and so the Hierophant is a teacher. The Hierophant is someone who takes you to that extra level that you can't reach, right? The Hierophant is someone that brings you to a higher state. And when it was in reverse and it would always come up for my particular teacher, I wouldn't listen. I didn't listen to my intuition. I didn't listen to the signs that were coming at me. And it wasn't until the complete and utter ending of that relationship, me finally cutting off, did I really kind of have that aha moment. It was like, yeah, I knew that all along, but I chose to not to take heed to the warnings. So it's good for you to have a little bit of bias here. It's good for you to see things, because the intuition that you have, we sometimes we just can't see it because we're so busy, and sometimes it just needs to come up in card form. Or some people read tea leaves. I have a friend, Lenore, who reads tea leaves, and she can find patterns in things like when she makes soup and stuff like that. And so just having that intuitive muscle, I guess you could say, is a tool to help you understand yourself, to help you understand your world. And it is a muscle, because the more you use it, the stronger it becomes, the faster it becomes. So then Mark Lee says, I wonder what your cards would say about my spiritual state. Okay, well then I guess I can do some readings for y'all. All right, we'll do some live on the fly readings. Okay, so, all right, Alexander, let's do you first. I'm wondering if maybe I should use a Marseille card so that we could get like a timing. When will my sister and her husband first get arrested? All right, so Alexander wants to know. Okay, so we're going to use this Marseille style because it's more numerical. Oh, we've got these. We've got these cards in there. I leave them in there for some reason. I do, and sometimes I forget to take them out. Like now. I think that's it. All right, Alexander wants to know, when will sister and husband first get arrested? Oh, I didn't mention that in my video earlier, because I do that split. I do a 4 split, and it's because of the 4 directions, right? 4 directions and the 4 elements. We do have 5 elements, though. We've got the ether. Okay. But my spiritual teachings, we teach about 4. All right, Alexander. Let's see what we have. So we have Valet de Bâton. We have the 5, oh no, that's 6 of swords. And then we have the 5 of cups. Okay, so this is 6, 5, and then the valet, he would be 11. So 11, and then let's see. I don't know. We've got 11, so if we add these 2 together, that would be 11. But then if we would say this was November, because valet is the page is after 10, which is 11, and then we would say 6 and 5. So 11 plus 5 would be 16, 22. So we got 11 and 22, and then 22 is double 11. So, I mean, we've got lots of 11s in here. Maybe November 22nd? I mean, that's kind of soon, right? For them to be arrested like so soon? I mean, I don't know. Is it imminent that they're going to get arrested? I don't know, Alexander. This was just my reading, and like I said, I don't necessarily do time, right? So, but that's just what I saw. I would recommend you doing a reading for yourself, and seeing what would come for what would come across for you. Maybe get some playing cards. And what is her name? Her name is Anna. Has the playing cards oracle, and she is on YouTube, and she has a way of reading playing cards, and it will show a date and a time. Ana Cortez. Yes, look for her on there. Ana Cortez. Look for her on YouTube. Okay, for you, Mark Lee, I'm going to use Tarot of the Abyss. Let me pull that out. So this is more of my style of question, Mark Lee. What your spiritual state is. All right. November 22nd, so close now, and then so close to Thanksgiving and the holidays and all. We could also, add 11 and 11. Yeah, 22. That could be 22 days from now as well. So we could think about that. 22 days. Yeah, so November 22nd, 22 days. Yeah. I wonder, let me know how that goes, Alexander. We'll see, right? I'm curious. And working with cards and trying to predict the future like that is pretty difficult, because there's so many things that can happen, that can change. There's so many interventions that can happen. I don't necessarily feel that everything is quite written in stone, because we can change our trajectory by changing our thought process. We can change the path that we're on by making a different decision, by putting ourselves in different situations and getting out of the lives of certain people. So I just sometimes I feel that we, not sometimes, I do feel that we are pretty much in charge of what happens to us, by the choices that we make. And now there are some things that just can't happen, that we can't be in charge of. Accidents happen all the time, and we can't get out of it. But there's a certain aspect of control that we can have. If you don't want to get like hit by a car crossing a street, cross on the sidewalk and look both ways, and just be fully aware. But even taking the utmost caution, sometimes, like I said, accidents happen. Accidents do happen. All right, let's see. Mark Lee, what is going on with your spiritual state? All right. So we've got the Empress in reverse, we've got the Seven of Swords, and we've got the Nine of Swords. Okay, Mark Lee. I do feel like you're kind of I feel like you might be a little like stuck somewhere. Um the Empress is a card of growth, of nurturing. She's the mother. We think of Venus, we think of caring, bringing things to fruition, abundance. She's associated with abundance, but I really feel it's really that mothering and caring energy, and you can mother and care for all kinds of things. And then when I see this Empress in reverse, I feel like there might be a little bit of neglect, of perhaps not completely caring for things the way that they need to be cared for. Like maybe you're putting your energies elsewhere. We also have the Seven of Swords, and this card is associated with deceit. And then we've got the Nine of Swords, which is like our nightmare card. So kind of what I see here happening is that you're kind of in a state of suspension, really. You're kind of not really going where you want to go. And I almost feel like there might be some self-deceit here. I don't know. I don't know if this is self-deceit. I don't know. I that kind of just it came out though, self-deceit. So there it could be. But with our Nine of Swords, there I feel like there's just some confusion for you, uh Mark Lee. Like I don't maybe you're just not quite sure of the path that you want to take, or the path that you're on. It's not bringing you the results that you need, or perhaps there is some deceit on your part, or some deceit on the part of another. Like maybe you're part of a group that's making you think that things are a certain way when they're really not. Like there's just some falsities being presented towards you. And when I look at it that way, it seems like this Nine of Swords, like it's causing you some sort of like anxiety, some sort of just some tumultuous, like you know that something's not quite right, or you know that there needs to be a change, or you kind of have this gut underlying feeling. But I don't really see you at the moment really taking charge of this, and taking it by the reins, and making the changes necessary, if that makes sense. All right. So that's what I got from that reading for you, Mark Lee. And again, I definitely recommend that you get your own deck. Um, hey, my other camera turned off. Please run hub. All right, because I'm just about to finish up here. And all right, look, I think it turned back on. Wait, where'd it go? So I was gonna change the. It's not transitioning. Well, what's going on? Let's see what the I wonder if maybe it's because it's hot. So I got this new camera, like I said, and oh, it's showing y'all my Elgato is unavailable. It's like it paused. I got this new camera. I needed to take the other one to work because we use Teams, and so I took the one I had to work, which was an E-Meet, and I didn't really like that one anyway. Um, oh, I'm hot. No, that happens when I read. Excuse me, I get hot. Okay, let's see. Can you see me now? Oh, yeah, there I am. Excuse me. All right, it's going to pop up in a minute, y'all. Ooh, I muted my mic. Oh, look, here's the cup I was going to show you. And so there's a little button down here that you use to turn it on. And then you have this cool little light that the app, you can control the color. I turned it to pink. I don't know why it's not pink right now. And so it's a nice sturdy mug. It's on Amazon, and they have a bigger size. This is the 10 ounce, and I think they have a 14 ounce as well. I wish you would have got me the 14 ounce because, you know, I love tea and 10 ounces is not enough, but it's great. It works. It has a little charger that you can sit it on and charge, and I can just take this with me. I can take it in my car, and and it'll stay on as long as it's charged. And then there's a cool little app, like I said. I can turn it on and off. I can select the temperature. I can put it on a timer. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for joining me, Mark and Alexander. At one point we had 5 people here, which is cool. That is wonderful. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. I am going to make videos. I'm going to continue making videos. I've just got to find my groove, right? I'm hoping that the position that I'm in is going to go remote. So I'll be able to work from home, and I won't be as tired because I won't have to get up at 5 a.m. and wear makeup. A video very soon. And if you have any other ideas on how I can do readings, I'm leaning towards maybe doing some on moon phases, and perhaps just the elements, right? That I think that might be the easiest here, and the most time efficient for me at the moment. So let me know what ideas you have. I would really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.